Can we survive 24 hours of karting? Well, thanks to WTF1, we're doing a 24-hour kart race here at Buckmore Park. And it's a team of 8, myself, Tim McMardock, Ben Daly, Super GT, Steve Brown, Jimmy Broadbent, TR Limitless, JD, James Doherty, however you want to call him, Sonic Sautunk, and we've got Tommy from WTF1, so pretty full team, but it's going to be intense. That's going to be 3 hours of karting each over the next 24 hours, non-stop racing. It's going to be insane. I'm looking forward to it. We're just waiting for the briefing right now, and then we're going to get into it. So wish us luck. So here we go then. This is on board one of the practice laps that we did, and our practice was actually quite brief. I think we only got about 45 minutes for all 8 of us, so because we had quite a big team, we only had less than 5 minutes each, so probably only about 3 or 4 laps each realistically. But as you can see, very, very wet. Apologies for the slightly weird kind of video. This is actually incredibly shaky. We did use a GoPro, but it's mounted to the kart on a bit that just shook like mad. So actually this footage is so much better than the raw footage, but it does make it look a little bit weird. But anyway, this is the Buckmore Park track then. As you can see, wet lines being taken everywhere. I believe this actually wasn't me. I think this is actually Veloce James driving this particular lap, but it doesn't really matter for this this particular example. And you can see just pretty much avoiding all the apexes. He nails the curb there. I think he's still trying to sort of find his wet line here, really. It did take the guys a little while to find a wet line. He managed to pretty much perfect it. Again, going right around the outside here. It's normally quite a quick track, I believe, when it's dry, but of course in the wet it's just so slow. Actually running a little bit wide there, get a bit of oversteer, and getting back on the power. Coming through the final turn now. Again, normally you're all up the inside, but he takes a nice late turn in and a late apex. And there it is, and once again right on the outside. Look at this, more than halfway across the track, and there we go. That is a lap of Buckmore Park. This is actually technically the final corner, but in the dry it is pretty much flat, so I barely consider it a corner. And there it is. That was a lap of Buckmore Park. Here we are on the grid then. P6 we managed to get. There's our kart in the background. Race starts in literally a few minutes, so yeah, good to go. We put JD in, TR Limitless, for quali. Managed to get us P6, so we're happy with that. And we've got James, Veloce James, just going in for the race start. It's going to be a Le Mans style start, so they're going to start over here and run across, jump in and get going. So here we go then. This is just moments before the race start. We are kart number 12. It's the yellow board with a 12 on it. You won't quite be able to see it. It's just to the right off screen there. And big thanks to Alpha Live as well for letting me use this off-board footage. They did stream all 24 hours of the race, so it's great to have some professional footage. And you see us on the left-hand side there. Veloce James is in the kart, deciding to dive right up the inside, but just no grip. You can see him running hugely wide there. It's actually astonishing how little grip there was on the normal racing line in the wet. I didn't think it'd be quite that bad. Of course, these guys are on slicks, and you see us up the inside once again there, just diving up the inside of some other karts, see even get some positions, but similar sort of thing. Just there was just no grip up the inside as all the rest of them come through. And there we are again up the inside, and that's the 3rd time in a row that he's just dived up the inside. I think he probably knew it wasn't the best decision, but just thought he'd give it a go because, well, I mean, that's where the space was. The outside was completely full. And this now then is the onboard shot. And again, apologies for the slightly strange footage, as I did have to heavily correct it. And you see, this is when we go up the inside. So you can see the pace on them when he didn't really have anywhere else to go, so just kind of had to. Potentially could have slowed down a bit more, maybe got pushed around, but just ended up pushed so far out wide just because there was no grip, and losing several more positions that he gained. And here again, look, there was just nowhere for him to go, so he just thought, well, you know what, I might as well send up the inside. So that's exactly what he did. And once again, the people just fly around his outside, and basically the same story again. I could just repeat the same sentence over and over again. There's no room on the outside, so he thinks, why not go for the inside? And it just doesn't work. It just ends up getting flooded on the exit. But it doesn't matter. It is a 24-hour race, let's not forget. So it's not the end of the world if we lose a few positions on the start. There's still 23 hours and 59 minutes to go at this point. So again, look at the inside. They're trying to get a position back, but not quite the right line. Once again, same thing, but we get cut off there. A little bit of contact. And there it is. And that was our first lap of the 24-hour karting race. So there it was then. That was the start. Pretty good start. I think we lost a couple of positions off the start, down to P11 at one point. Fighting way back up now though. I think he's in P6 at the moment. But yeah, just 23 hours and 50 minutes to go. Here we go then. This is a 1 hour check-in. We're now 1 hour into the race. Still got Veloce James in the kart. He's doing really well. He's up to P5 actually. We had one black flag, and fortunately black flag is not disqualified in this 24-hour race. Basically a 20-second stop and go penalty. That was for overtaking under yellow, so fair enough. But pretty good views. This is the top of the clubhouse. So James is going to do about another hour, I think, and then we're going to put in Tommy from WTF1. Well, here we go then. This is our very first pit stop. So just to explain, you're supposed to come into the pit at walking pace, but there were certainly a few people that broke those particular rules. And let's see there, Veloce James not even quite sure where to come. Just pull into the left there. Pretty much you always refuel when you come in, just because you might as well. You can do a swap without refueling, but the guys have got to get out the cart first. Then they will refuel you, as they're doing now, and then the next guy jumps in and heads off. So pretty simple process, really. You can see there, Tommy now heading back out onto the track, giving us a nice thumbs up. There he goes, and back out onto the track. So pit stops are quite easy, really, in this. Just jump out, fuel, jump back in. So that was our driver change then. That was 2 hours into the race. That was Tommy into the kart, James out. James did great. I think he ended up in P4, only a few seconds back from P3. Great job from him, Veloce James that was. Next up, as I said, we got Tommy in the kart, Tommy from WTF1. He's behind me somewhere there, I don't know which one he is. Not lapping quite so quickly. Veloce James, of course, did compete in the Race of Champions, and Tommy is the founder of WTF1, so different breeds, shall we say. Not quite as quick. I think he's about sort of 5 seconds a lap off the pace of what James was doing, but that's okay. We're a very mixed team. We've got half pros, 4 kind of pro karty type people, and 4 just kind of average Joes like myself. So we're not too worried, so we just need to stay in it for now. Ladies and gentlemen, Jimmy Broadbent trying to do a helmet.
Hey, come on now.
Oh dear.
I think maybe I'm doing something.
Well, it's not virtual, we just can't do it. Look at him.
Yeah, I only know virtual world. Is that... Oh, there he is. Wait a minute.
This can be taken out of context.
What happens if he's got a melon head, mate? It doesn't go on.
Oh yeah, the XL shows it off.
Come on. Come on. So close.
So there we go then, Jimmy Broadbent now in the kart. Don't know where he is. If you see the number 12 behind me, then that's him. Tommy's out. Tommy's now heading home for a bit. Me, Jimmy, and a few others are here all night, but a lot of them are part-timers going home and then coming back. But yeah, so we'll see what sort of lap times Jimmy can do. I think we were P12 last time I checked. Wow, that's a lot of karts. But it's starting to dry up, thankfully. There's a bit of a spin behind me there. It is starting to dry up, which is pretty sweet. So hopefully, by the time I drive, it'll be nice and dry. That'll be sweet. But anyway, let's see how Jimmy gets on.
Hi.
How's that?
Better than I thought it would be. Like started off quite wet, and then like you start seeing this drying, the dry bit on the circuit. You just follow that around, and like it's so crazy how the grip just changes, because you'll be sliding and then you'll hit the dry bit. It feels like someone's hit you, but it's just the tyres gripping. And yeah, they've got a lot of grip those tyres. This arm is dead, but the other one is okay.
Was it half wet, half dry?
Yeah, it was like it started off kind of wet. It's been dry in my entire stint. Now, like essentially. From the race official place box, from there downwards it's pretty dry. That whole section up there is pretty wet still, but you can go flat through the chicane now.
So there we go then, that was Jimmy going into, or Jimmy coming out of the kart, there he is. And we put JD in. JD used to do, I think I remember him telling me he got second in the European Karting Championship at one point, so we're expecting big things, JD. I'm in 2 hours, JD's in for 2 hours, then I'm in. So hopefully the track will be nice and dry, and I can probably figure out a dry line much better than I can figure out a wet line, just because the 5 minutes practice I did before this race was the only wet karting I've ever done. So hopefully dry line for me, dry track for me, and yeah, let's see. Time for now though for a nice burger and chips. We're 2 hours now to chill out before my stint, then it's going to be a long night of karting. Well, here we go then. We are now leading our class. We've been demoted to clubman class from pro class, which we never should have been in. We got 4 good drivers and 4 people like me, bang average drivers. My stint is in about 20 minutes or so, not very long. As you can see, it's just getting dark. The sky is not very bright. The floodlights are on. So I think I'm sort of doing an Abu Dhabi vibe, a Twilight race. It's going to be getting dark and it'll probably be pitch black by the time I'm done. So track is pretty much completely dry now though, which hopefully should help me with my inexperience. And yeah, wish me luck, guys. Well, here we go then. This is my first stint in the race. 18 hours to go, starting to get a little bit dark. Just adjusting my camera as I go out there. And my only practice around this track was that about 3 or 4 laps in the soaking wet that I had in the practice session. So this is certainly my first dry laps. And actually the track wasn't totally bone dry when I started, but it was bone dry when I finished. But it wasn't far off, so it was definitely dry lines all around. And again, apologies for this online footage. This is, I know it's still fairly shaky, but this is as good as I could get it. It really is such bad footage, unfortunately. They mount it on the kind of bit right in front of the steering wheel, the plastic bit, and it just shakes around so much. But as I said, I have improved it quite a lot in the edit, so hopefully it's just about watchable now. And here, this is actually towards the end of my stint, so this is when it is pretty much bone dry. And I was having some great battles with these guys that I'm around. I think that other guy was just a slower car, but this car to head, I was having such a good battle. I actually managed to find quite a bit of pace, and was kind of not really losing time to any of the other karts, and was just able to battle with everyone, and I was having great fun. I was pretty tired, but was having good fun, driving up the inside now, and still, again, really just learning the track. This is only about an hour in, so I've not done an excessive amount on this track. Certainly there'll be people that are on this track that have done quite a lot more than me, so only an hour, but I really loved it actually. It's, you know, karting is fun at the best of times, and being kind of part of a team environment and all that sort of stuff. And you see me now coming into the pit stop to end my stint. As I did mention, it is the end of my stint, so this is the pit entry. You're supposed to go walking pace through here, but I think realistically people go a bit quicker, but perhaps I was a little bit too safe with those rules, because I am very much going walking pace, aren't I? But just bringing it round now, on the left hand side here is the fuel stop. We'll go through the pit stop process in just a little while, but this is the pit stop and bringing in to end my stint. So I've just realised that I never did my my vlogging after my last stint. I'm trying to get some good lighting, which was over 2 hours ago. I think that shows it's pretty tiring, and I probably could have done a 2-hour stint as some of the guys have done, but it would have been a long old stint. I think an hour is about right for me. I was tired but not exhausted, so feeling the effects now though. Got a bit of back pain, lower back pain like an old man. Mainly my hands. That was the biggest struggle, was because, you know, I'm an office worker these days. I'm used to typing, to suddenly having to grasp and, you know, wrestle a cart for an hour in the dry was pretty intense. But we got through it. Pretty good pace as well, actually. I ended up, I think I was in 52s or 53s, and the quickest I was doing 50s. Jimmy said I was about a second or so off the pace of guys that are really experienced karters. So I am taking that. I'm doing 2 AM till 3:15, which is a beautiful time to be karting / sleeping, but here we are. And the biggest thing that strikes me is that we're not even halfway through yet. When I get in the cart, the race will be officially halfway through. Oh, that was a bigger step than I thought. So yeah, this is, I joked on Twitter that nobody told me how long a 24-hour race was, because I guess it just puts in perspective, because you think, yeah, 24 hours, that's obviously a long race, but we'll be all right. It's only a day of your life, but actually when you're here, it is a long old time. So like I said, next stint's in a couple of hours, and then we'll try and get some sleep, hopefully in my back of my car, so we'll see how that goes. But for now, it's chill out time, give my back some time to recover, back into the clubhouse. So it is now 2:45 AM. I'll be going in the car in about another 15 minutes. My eyes are starting to go dark already, if they weren't dark to begin with. Pretty tired now, I was yawning quite a bit, I haven't gone to sleep yet. Going to do an hour and 15-minute stint, which will take me to 3:15, so I will be very, very tired after that stint. We got Sonic Salton in at the minute. He's doing a pretty good job for us, we're still first in class. Actually pulling away, I think we're currently 3 laps ahead or something, 2 laps with a pit stop in hand, something like that. Anyway, I've just got to keep on the track, try and do some reasonable times. And we'll see where we're at the end. I just got to try and not fall asleep. I think I'll be all right when I'm in there. It's when I leave the cart that I will just want to collapse, I think. But I will then have to stay up for Jimmy's stint as everyone else is going to be asleep. So yeah, let's do it, I guess. My word. That was next level. As you can see me behind me, the mist has descended. But my stint, that was interesting. So I did 10 minutes, then I had a service stop where they changed the front tyres. just check it over, make sure everything's all good. And came out of the pits, brand new front tyres, old rear tyres, cold front tyres, but brand new front tyres. And so that was interesting. Had to wear them in. First turn, turned in, and there was just nothing because the tyres were of course still shiny. Had to get the sheen off. But anyway, got them warmed up, got them bedded in, and then we're all good again. But that was a very tiring stint. Very, very tiring. I felt alright, the adrenaline in the beginning, I was all good. Till about, I think I did 2:15 till 3:30, quarter to 3, quarter to 4, with a 10-minute break. So yeah, it was pretty intense. I got to about 2/3 way through, feeling fine, and then just energy started going. My lower back is not in a good shape. It's one of my weak points. So of course this just used a lot of lower back, a lot of core, and my lower back is, yeah, don't bend over, no. So now I'm going to try and get some sleep. So hopefully we can get a good result. Currently in P3, we're doing all right, we're holding on to the podium. We're a lap behind P2, who's a lap behind P1, and we're a lap ahead of P4. So there's a lap between the top 4 at the minute. So hopefully we can have some good pace overnight. And hopefully I will go and try and have some sleep and wake up to us in P1, hopefully. But yes, sleep time. So it's now 4:30. I'm just about to go to sleep, but I thought I'd show you my beautiful sleeping conditions here. This is the back of a Golf, and yeah, can't straighten my legs. Don't know if you can really see, but my legs they're very bent, so it's not the most ideal sleeping position. Of course, as soon as it gets light, all of these windows are going to be so bright that I probably can't sleep anyway. So we'll see how we get on. Buenas noches. So it's 10 to 7. Had about 2 hours of cold, cramped, broken sleep. Not the best sleep I've ever had in my life. Better than none, I suppose. It's very light now. I'm awake, I think. Just a bit too cold, a bit too cramped. Don't think I can sleep anymore, so gonna get up, go see how we're getting on, and sleep very well later on tonight, I think. So, I'm up, I'm out of bed. We're actually in P2, so we have gained a little bit overnight. We're about, I think, 3 or 4 laps off P1 in our class. So, not really a chance of the win, unfortunately, unless they have serious issues. But we're only about a lap ahead of P3 and P4, so really close fight for the podium. It's going to be close come the end. We've got Ben Daly in the kart at the minute. Overnight we had Tommy, we had Jimmy, and Veloce James as well, did a pretty good stint. So it's kept us in the hunt for sure. Next up we've got JD, who should be very, very quick here. Then we're putting in Sonic again. And then after that we're going to figure it out. At this point it is very much coming a war of attrition, if you can call it a war, because everybody's very tired now, both sleep-wise and just muscles. My muscles are not happy. My forearms are destroyed. My lower back's just So I don't know if I'll be able to do. I was supposed to do an hour stint this morning. I don't know if I'll be able to do that or not. We're going to just get the 2 quick guys in, and after that we're going to figure out between 3 of us what we can do to get to the end of this race, because yeah, it's a toughie. 24 hours of karting is tough. So I thought I'd show you what we do to bring drivers in. I've been designated the team captain for this. So we've got this board, and this is our kart number. And basically what I do is I wave that at JD, who's currently in the kart, and hope that he sees it, and then he comes in the next lap. So hopefully you caught that. He did just give us the thumbs up. So there it was. That was how we do the pits. This is just on the pit exit here. Certainly wraps up my driving duties now. We've shuffled around the pit stops to save us a pit stop. So it means I'm going to end up doing 2.5 hours of driving. I didn't end up having to do a last hour. We're looking pretty good. We're currently in P2. JD managed to hunt down and overtake P2 in our class, so that's great. P1's a way off, so we're never going to get that.
Ow! Ow! Ow!
Well, there we go. That was our final pit stop. We got Sonic out of the car, Great stint by him. He did about 2 hours 20, I think. Really good pace. Few spins, but his pace was good enough anyway, didn't matter. He pitted from first in class, I think. He did have to come in for some fuel. That's how much he used. He used an entire tank and a bit more. We've now got James, Veloce James, in the car, who did our first stint in the wet and is really quick in the wet. It is raining, of course. I think, I don't want to jinx it, hopefully we'll be on for the win. In theory, because the other team have got a pit yet, so we're now in P2, and the other team have got a pit. I feel more awake now. This unexpected result, potentially a win. There's a massive trophy, 6 massive trophies for a win, so that's picked me up a bit. So now we've just got to watch the TV intense till the end. Come on, James, you can do it. The man, the myth, the legend.
Hello.
Great stint, mate. How was that?
Horrible.
Ruined?
Yeah. I was saying to me, that was the least I've ever enjoyed driving anything in my life.
Just no energy?
Well, just cold. I knew we were in front by miles, so no motivation. Need a piss, like unbelievable amounts. Yeah, just tired. I was going down the straight and I was like...
Yeah, fair play. Mega job though. Hopefully you did it for us. We were 3 laps at the end ahead. That was James's absolutely mammoth stint. You can see him behind you there, behind me there. Unbelievable. He went from, I think, just behind first place to 3 laps ahead of first place in our class. All being well, it should have sealed us the win. We got Sonic out there somewhere now. Hopefully just doing the job. He's got about half an hour in the kart. He's also done a mega job. He's done some serious stints too. So all he needs to do now is bring it home within 2 laps of P2. Still got the energy to wave, look at him. So yeah, just got the nervy end to the race now, watching Sonic. Hopefully he doesn't have too many spins or anything, and we can bring it home for that big fat trophy. There he is. Yay!
Got it! Position
That's a podium for them.
Accelerate Racing. It's 3rd position for the Procast, and of course the number 4 kart.
There it was then, P1 confirmed. Great result obviously, we're buzzing. Quite nice to not hear engines for the first time in 24 hours. Yeah, I don't think we expected a win even in the club class, so we will certainly take it. Pretty good scenes at the end there of us all cheering across the line. This guy here as well, where is he, that guy? Pretty good result there. Great pace towards the end, really helped us seal the win. Unbelievable wet weather pace. Just waiting now for the presentation stuff. I think there might be a podium or something, and then for some sleep.
Winning your club win class. It was a close battle, it was good to watch. Big round of applause, please. In 12th place overall, Kart 12, WTF1.
There we go then. That was the race. All been worth it for this trophy. Yeah, big thanks to WTF1, to all my teammates of course, and particular big thanks to Veloce James and Sonic Sautunk. Both of those did mega long stints, really quick too. Great event, really loved it, really tired, but it has all been worth it. I think half through the night was the biggest struggle. Just like, we've got how many hours left? But anyway, we got there, we did it. 24-hour karting race done. Got back to my car, as you can see. My nice big trophy sat in the back. And yeah, I think that's about all I need to say really. If you enjoyed the video, please do subscribe. Particularly after this video, it's been a grind. My back hurts, everything hurts, and I will be very tired for several days. So yeah, thanks for watching anyway. Bye bye.